What's up, guys? My name's Teo, and this is my self-converted Ford E250. All right, so I actually got this van for free from a subscriber who was watching me in my last van, which was a 1999 Astro van. Very small, very close quarters, me and my cat Lars. And she thought it looked insane that we were sleeping in such a small thing. She had a van that she hadn't driven in over 14 years. She used it for a daycare vehicle, and it was just kind of like wasting away in her yard in Minnesota. So she emailed me. I thought it was a scam, but eventually I followed back up with her, and she gave me this beautiful van for free. So thank you so much, Carrie, if you're watching this right now. I really appreciate it to this day. This is my van, Gossamer, and I'm gonna give you guys a little tour because it's been well overdue. So right here, right when you look in, this is my wall for my magnetics. I used to have a like vintage style fridge, but I moved it around for other stuff, and I was collecting these magnets from places that I travel to. So I got this magnetic sheet, this magnetic sheet where I can still collect my stuff. So it'll still be fun. Yeah, so that's that. Right here, I got my cat's water dish. It's yeah, it's pretty cool. It has water and he drinks it. So yeah. All right, and let's come in and check out some stuff. All right, so this is the new fridge that I got. I actually had the same kind of fridge in the Astro van, just a way smaller version. So this one is huge and opens up. Fits so much stuff in here. I've got some arugula, some sausage, some pre-made meals, some fruits and stuff. Yeah, this fridge, honestly, I think fits more stuff than my last fridge fit, and it's more cozy. Only drawback is I used to have this entire space free, so when I parked, I could just hop out, walk over, and walk into the cab. Now I usually have to like hop out the van and walk all the way over to here. So it's kind of inconvenient in that way, but I'm not too concerned about it. Not that big of a deal. But yeah, the front of the van is just a basic front of the van. I've got my cat's little bed. He sleeps in here sometimes. And like every van lifer has, just like random stuff in the back of their van. Some other little just things that I got right there. Yeah, over here, I've got my resistance bands right here to work out. I've got a scale. My yoga mat goes back there. I actually have a full-size electric drum kit, which is pretty cool. I'm going to really hope to get into drumming this year. And then if you look up here, I've got a very selfless, shameless flex, my 100,000 subscriber plaque, which I'm very, very proud of. And then right here, this is a little latch that keeps this door from swinging open. And just undo that, open it, and you've got our beautiful little cupboard. Now, I'm a van lifer, so I don't have that many clothes. So I've got my like tops and shirts, pants, light jackets, stuff like that, my shoes, and up here, the crown jewel, we've got our pantry where I've got my dry storage foods, got some Gushers right there because, yeah, I'm like a 90s kid. Got some other stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. And a little mirror right there, and that's me. What's up? All right, and up here, we just got some random stuff. I got my computer, laptop, my MacBook is in this bag. This is Lars's carrying case. He also likes to sleep in here sometimes. And then this bag right here, pretty much just has all of his stuff from his like flea treatment, leash, shampoo, and all that. It all goes there. Everything else is just like random stuff like flea and tick spray. And just, oh, I also have his little winter coat, which is right here, very cute, his little vest. And this is the blanket that I got when I adopted him in LA, and I've kept it. All right, it is hot in here, so I'm sweating a bit. But this brings me to my next thing I want to show you, which is my fancy automatic trash can. So that's really dope. Oh, okay. Sometimes it does that without me even being there. But right here, I got this little thing, this little shelf where I keep my oils. Got some toasted sesame, avocado, black truffle, some coffee. I have this deer antler that I won at a cooking competition, and something tells me I'm gonna be holding on to it for a while. So Charles, Anthony, if you're watching that, take that as a threat. Right here, I've got just some like seasoning, spices, all my little accoutrements and so forth. I cook a lot. I'm actually starting a cooking channel. In fact, next week I'm launching some new stuff, so be on the lookout for that. But speaking of cooking, I've got a dirty but very good stovetop, double burner stovetop. Ugh. 2 burners, so sick. With a oven that is also could use a cleaning, but that's how you can tell I actually use this and I'm not just putting on for the gram. All right, so if we look down here, this is where I keep all of my, it's very packed. This is where I keep like all of my, like, I've got propane, butane, my mugs, my utensils, all my kitchen stuff that I can't quite fit into my cabinet up there. I keep in here. I've got a little burner stove. Actually, I want to show this. It's really cool. I've got like a kitchen torch, some butane, got some chopsticks. I've got this cool, I believe this brand is like Snow Peak or something, but it's like a 1 burner. Since I have the full stove, I only use this when I'm cooking outside. And yeah, some other kitchen stuff, my plates and all that, all go up here. Let's push that back in. And then right here, I've got, you know, my oven mitt, Rachel Ray brand, shout out. I've got my cast iron stove, pans. I've got this wooden cutting board. And then my knife set is in this pack right here. So this is technically a outdoor oven, but my friend, who's also another van life YouTuber by the name of Annette Sventis, showed how to do a install of a outdoor oven. It took a lot of details. I'll give you guys more detail maybe in a different video, but yeah, I installed this and it does not move. I've driven up mountains, rocky roads, and this thing has stayed firm. So shout out to Annette. So this space right here, very important to me. This is where I prep my foods, chop everything and all that. And this right here is super important. I've had this for a year. I've had this since my first van build, but I could never properly use it. I just didn't know how to get the sink to work right. And honestly, I was being a bit lazy too, but I finally figured it out. And now I just hit the switch over here and I've got a fully working sink. I can wash my dishes, wash my hands, wash my face, everything I need to do in this little sink. It is, honestly, I am in love with it every single day. And turn that back off. The way that I have this sink set up, I'll give you guys, I think I'm gonna do a separate video where I show you guys in depth my sink, my lighting, my power, and all that in one video. This is a van tour, so I'm not really trying to get too in depth, but it is a cool little jerry rig situation that I put together that does work quite well. Speaking of power though, if we look down here, I've been using my Bluetti AC 180 for over a year now. I've been having to go into Starbucks and charge it like daily. It gets super, super, super annoying. So I installed this right here. It's kind of hard to see, but this is a Bluetti Charger 1. This connects to my alternator and it charges my Bluetti power station while I'm driving. Cool thing is it has a app feature where I can control the volts that get sent out. So I can send up to 56 volts to my Bluetti power station, which gives it about 600 amps coming in. So in like an hour and a half, I'm from 0 to 100. It's really insane. Love that so much. This is going to change how I do van life. I should definitely put a light down here. I'll probably do that before I hit the road. But under here, I've got some stuff, got some dude wipes. I got these sandals that I got from Japan. Got my records. I got a few records right here, vinyls. I collect vinyls. These are my containers for my water. This is 5 gallons of fresh, and this is my 5 gallons of gray water, which catches, of course, all the water that comes out from the sink. I've just got some electronic stuff here for like my gaming and my music stuff, and some ring lights and stuff down here. But I would like to show you guys. We got to talk about the dirty parts of van life real quick. All right, so I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but I gotta give you guys the truth, honesty, because everyone has to do it. We're talking about number 2 people. As much as I can, I try to go to, a gas station, a Walmart, a Cracker Barrel if it's open, even like a hotel. Those are great places to try. But if it's, dire straits, maybe I'm parked top of a mountain and I gotta go and I'm too scared to go outside because I heard something scary, I will use this portable bathroom. This thing is honestly, it's a seat and a bathroom all in one, and it's very, very sturdy. Just open it, turn it to lock it like that, and you just have a seat on it and just chill. But when it's time to actually do the deed, hop off, pop that open to get an actual toilet right there. And it comes with these trash bags. So pop one of those in there, have a seat, and you are ready to do your business. And when that's done, obviously just tie it up, maybe toss it out the van until you can take it to a trash can or properly dispose of it. But yeah, this thing was like $26, maybe a little more expensive, maybe like 30 something, but pretty cheap. And honestly, it doesn't hold a smell. I've only used it a couple times, but it's also a good camping chair when you need to just go hang out with your friends at the bonfire or something like that. So yeah, I will try to link this in my description. So look for that down there in my equipment. All right, so I am very proud of this TV that I installed. I didn't do this part on purpose, but the way that I installed it is on 2 different layers of this tongue and groove wood, which makes it able to move like this, which seems like it'd be a bad thing, except for the fact if I'm sitting on this chair over here, I can literally move it this way and watch TV here. But if I'm chilling in the bed, I can move this right there and have a perfect angle wherever I am in the van. So this is honestly perfect. And that brings me to my beautiful, beautiful desk here. This is a hand-built, everything in this van is hand-built by me, but this is a beautiful desk that has totally changed the way that I experience van life. And it's because I have a chair that can roll and do all the cool stuff. And I can like roll around, type on my things, drink my coffee. I could even cook eggs while I'm in the van. That's awesome. And I can swivel. And I've spent so many days being in my bed all day, just sitting in my bed, watching TV. That's a loud vehicle. But sitting in my van, watching TV in my bed, eating my sandwiches in my bed, all that stuff. Having a desk really opens the van up. I've been feeling way more creative lately. It's honestly done so much for my mental health and quality of life. So shout out to this beautiful bed. Shout out to this beautiful desk. And I have this floaty plant that, oh, that was embarrassing. I have this floaty plant that spins, and that's an air plant. It takes the moisture from the air, hence the word air plant. But yeah, it adds some greenery to the van, and I'm just so in love with how this van flows. But yeah, got this beautiful Campervan mug right here that says home is where you park it. My sister made me this crocheted coaster. I've got this astronaut that projects beautiful lights onto the roof. And this is my vinyl display case right here. And then up here, I've got some stuff. I got like a Nintendo SP. I've got a Nintendo Switch, a Polaroid camera, then some other stuff, my hat collection and all that good stuff. All right, so down here, this is my record player. Beautiful record player. I really want to get into playing my records more often. I travel so fast sometimes that I don't get to really chill and enjoy stuff. I want to make that a difference this year. I want to be slower and more intentful with my travel. This is my amp. This is good for live performing, busking. I use it as my general speaker for listening to music and stuff. It's super loud. I love this thing so much. It was pretty cheap too. I've got my lights plugged up right now. These are some of the lights that I use to light my van. Yeah. They're charging right now, and that brings us down to our power. This is my Blue Eddy AC180. It's a 1800 watt power generator. Yeah, right now it's at 29%. Pretty good. I also have this Anker Solix. I'll talk more about these power stations and stuff like in my breakdown video coming up later. But yeah, these are my only ways that I power my van. And honestly, they work pretty good for me as a full-time van lifer. So, yeah. All right. And that brings me to the back area of the van. I've got my acoustic electric guitar right here. I've got my ukulele bass. I've also got Lars's little pet feeder. This thing is really cool. The reason why this is so cool is because this little thing right here is a camera. And I talked about this on my channel last year. I want to start doing a thing called Lars Cam. Whenever I'm like out hiking or just away from the van, I want to check in on Lars. I can now connect to this app and talk to him right here from this little feeder. So be on the lookout for the implementation of the Lars Cam. Right here, down here, this is my little garage area. It's not that crazy. It's got some stuff in here. I've got some music equipment, extra controllers. I've been DJing since 2022. Here's my little DJ equipment. I've got my drone, external hard drives, other mics. I got a back massager in there as well because van life is stressful sometimes. Yeah, some other little odds and ends are in here. If I felt like pulling this out right now, which I don't, but in between this and the one in the back that we'll check out later, I've got all of my camera equipment, and my Starlink goes over there too. But I'll show you guys that when we get to the back of the van, also known as the garage. So yeah, this is my bed. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back real quick and show you guys. All right, this is my bed. It looks really small, but honestly, there's a way that I do it that kind of works out perfectly. Also, I really like these curtains that I put in my van. They just give this nice kind of earthy tone, especially with the natural wood here. It kind of offsets it. I don't know. I just like it. But this reminds me of Boy Meets World for some reason, and I like that. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys how I actually fit in this small looking bed. At first glance, this bed looks very small because I had to actually put the bed at kind of an angle because of the way that the wood comes in. It won't sit flat, so it's kind of curved up. So this part of the bed just comes up. So with the pillows here, it makes it seem like there's no possible way I can fit on this much space. And I agree with you, but I actually don't use these pillows in a normal way. So I put one pillow to the side, put one pillow over here, and I can actually fit pretty well. I put my head in this space where the window comes in, and I fit pretty well. So that's how I fit in this bed. I sleep very comfortably, to be honest. I've had so many good night's sleep, me and Lars, in this bed. So yeah, that's how we fit. And all right, so I think that might be everything. Okay, as I look up, I remembered we got to talk about the lights. So these are some LED. I actually just put these LED strips up today. Usually I have these little puck light things that I've got up here. And also I've got these bar lights right here. I'll turn these on. They can change the type of color you got and the brightness. And then I'll use these lights here. As you can see, they're not very bright, but these LED strip lights that I put up today are so freaking bright. It's kind of all that I need, but I'm going to keep the other ones as backups because I never want to have a time where I run out of lights and I just have to live in darkness. So I'm very proud of these strip lights. They look super good. And also, as I look up, I'm reminded of this Max Air fan that I actually installed myself again. This thing, I wish I could have it on full blast right now. But yeah, you can turn it up, full blast, and it's bringing in so much beautiful, cool air because it's so hot in here. But also, if it's super muggy or you burn something while you're cooking, you can press that button up there and the fan reverses, taking out all the bad stale air or the burnt smoky air. So, and then turn it off. Yeah, that's the Max Air fan, and I love it so much. It helps with weather and temperature regulation so well. All right, so a lot of you want to know the question, where does my cat use the bathroom? And answer is simple. Passenger side door, open it up, and his litter goes right here. Got the scooper, and he uses the bathroom, scoop it up, and yeah, fits perfectly. He also sits here while we're driving most of the time. But yeah, very simple. All right, so now we're gonna check out what I call the garage of the van. Should probably unlock it first. Okay, now we're gonna check out what I call the garage of the van. Ugh. So right here, I've got some stuff. Got my skateboard right here. Got some. Okay. All right, I got my skateboard right here. I've got some Fix-A-Flat for my tires. And then you open the garage here, where this is where I keep my spare cat food for Lars. Got some paint stuff in case I want to do another coat on the roof. I've got, wire cutters. I've got my tire inflator, which is right here. And my battery charger. All that, just stuff that I will need in a pinch. I've got all my stuff to change a tire right there as well. And in this little corner right here, I've got two 100 amp hour Renogy lithium batteries. I'm gonna eventually probably lift my bed up a few inches and then turn this into like the area where I have my other power, because I'm gonna probably add a little more power to my van. I'm just gonna see how much I need. So I'm still traveling with that in case I want to add that later on while we are on the road. But yeah, not too much else to show in the garage. So I guess another cool thing I want to show you guys is this cool roof deck that I built. I added the ladder and I built the roof deck myself as well. So I guess I will hop up there and give you guys a little bit of a better look. All right. Oh. And we are on top of the roof. So while I'm up here, I'm gonna see if I can give you guys a better look. What's up, YouTube? All right, if you are afraid of heights, this is not for you, but I love heights and I love spending time on this roof deck. I do yoga up here, I eat breakfast up here, I stargaze up here. It's beautiful. And speaking of star, I have my Starlink right here. This thing helps me connect to the internet wherever in the world I am. I just plop the Starlink on top of the van, get a good angle in the sky, and I have hyperspeed internet. So shout out to Starlink. Wish it was a little bit cheaper, but here we are. So I know a lot of people probably have the question why I'm doing van life and what started this entire journey. And that answer is probably not simple, but it's probably not as complicated as a lot of people might think. So before I started van life, I was living in Los Angeles. I was in a long-term relationship. I was living with my partner in LA, working in the music industry as an audio engineer, grueling long hours. I was super stressed at my job. eventually I realized that I did not enjoy doing that job whatsoever. And that was kind of like an identity crisis in itself because my entire life, music has been what I do. I've been pursuing a career as a music artist. I was hoping to make it there via engineering in LA. And one day it kind of just shook my world that I don't actually want to be a part of the music industry like I thought I did since a child. And so I went through kind of like an identity crisis. You can imagine having something you've been chasing for over 2 decades kind of come crashing down on you. During that time, I was also getting out of a, like I said, long-term relationship as well. And I was just kind of in a space where I didn't know who I was, what I was doing, where I was going. And I knew I didn't want to stay in an apartment because I just had a stressful time in apartment life. I knew I didn't really want to move back to my family's house because I'd been on my own for so long at that point. And one day I was just on YouTube after work and I found a van lifer. I believe the first van life video I ever saw was from my personal close friend now, Alyssa Vanilla. She, I think, is one of the first van lifers I ever watched. And just seeing like how you can be so free and call your own shots and, you know, wake up with the sun and go to sleep with the stars. That whole lifestyle was so attractive to me because before I moved to LA, I was doing work for California. It was actually a thing called AmeriCorps, which you may have heard about AmeriCorps with all the closings and all that's going on now. But AmeriCorps was my first introduction into like living nomadically. Like we traveled, we did work at state parks, and we slept in tents, and I hiked hours and hours a day. Met so many friends who were from different parts of the world. AmeriCorps absolutely changed my life, and I owe where I am now to that little job that I just picked up to be able to move to California. The only reason why I joined it was because I had a place to go stay while I was trying to figure out my music stuff, and I ended up falling in love with it. So shout out to AmeriCorps. But yeah, so like I was saying, I was at a point where I was so independent, I didn't want to move back to my family's house, but I didn't have anywhere to go. Found van life, and like a month before my lease was up in my apartment, I bought a 1999 Astrovan, and I did a quick conversion on it, and I got my cat Lars, threw him in there, threw a futon in the back, and we hit the road and traveled from LA all the way to Alabama, where I'm at right now. Worked on the conversion a bit more, and then we hit the road for a straight year. And the rest is kind of history. I don't really see any other way to live now. I do think eventually I will get a home or build a home, but for right now, I'm enjoying being able to travel wherever I want to go and just live this beautiful life in this beautiful country and abroad. I went to Japan earlier this year and it was incredible. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of how I got into the world of van life. It's getting pretty dark, so I might need to cut this soon. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me on this tour. I had a great time showing you Gossamer. If I didn't mention it before, that's what my van's name is. I think I did a great job with my van build. I'm super proud of myself. I did everything myself by hand. Super proud about that. And again, I'm hitting the road in a couple days. So super stoked, super nervous, but hopefully you guys will join me on this journey. If you liked the video, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, leaving a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling. And yeah, I will see you guys later down the road. So until then, peace. That I would very much like to kill. Okay, I'm just getting sweaty now. All right. Well, okay, maybe he won't be in the shot. I'm dying. I am absolutely dying.